Welcome back, everybody. We made it to episode 6 of Two Addicts and a Moron.
Who would have ever thought?
Right.
Well, I think we all thought that.
Yeah,
We
did. We did.
I gotta acknowledge this. This thing has grown like a goddamn weed.
Not that kind of weed, though.
Not the like a one in the grass. It has really taken off in a way that I couldn't have expected this quick. We've been doing this for about a month, and we're at already over 1,000 subscribers,
Unreal.
about 1,300.
1330, but who's counting?
This dude is every 30 seconds.
In our group chat, I swear
Oh,
it's the
my
funniest
God.
thing. Like, I'll get a text like it's like 3:30 in the morning. 271 subs.
Yeah.
343.
Yeah.
289 subs.
Yeah. 20 seconds later,
And it's not 'cause I'm high.
272.
I'm not up that late because I'm high. I did so much damage, I guess, to my pisser that I have to pee every 2 hours when I'm sleeping. Like, my prostate's fucking just like, fuck.
I got a prostate like a cantaloupe.
That's why
Yeah.
I text y'all at 2 in the morning, 4 in the
Gross.
morning. That's just my schedule. I
Well,
gotta pee.
you need to
Gotta
start
piss.
eating some lycopene
So
or something. Put that on
now
some-
we
some carrot
know
sticks.
Mike pisses a lot. But anyway, that is a testament to all of you guys out there.
Yes, thank
And I know we're spreading the word. This thing looks good because of JV sitting back there. I know he plays a big role in this, and couldn't thank him enough.
We
But
need to get him in front of camera.
I think at
eventually.
one point we're going to do that.
we need to
right there.
We'll get him front and center.
Get some camera time.
But I want to just thank all of you guys.
All of you guys.
All of you for
thank
doing
y'all.
this. So sitting in the middle, Joey the Moron.
To the left, Jay Klein, addict.
To the right, yep, right. So Mike Stewboy, Addict Meth GHB. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please hit the notification bell.
Let's keep growing them subs so I can get more texts at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, while Mike's peeing.
Yes.
There's nothing more attractive than
thinking about
getting an
y'all.
update on our subscriptions
Yeah.
while you have your dick in your hand. That is the best thing I could possibly think of in my life.
Honestly, I've been waking up 3 times by you, and I can't even be mad. Yes, another sub.
Well, now that you know my dick's in my hand, then you should be
No.
happy.
Well, I'm probably gonna put my phone on D&D now.
No, nope. I'll always have it on, Mike.
Thank you. See,
I'll
someone
always
loves
have it
me.
on. Yeah. All right. Well, we get this thing kicked off with a tradition. Tradition is off to my left. Let's go ahead and get that started.
As we start episode 6, like we do every other episode, let's invite our higher power, whoever you choose to call that. Let us be reminded and remember and think about the addict that's still out there suffering, the family members that are struggling and suffering with them, maybe someone that's in the program that's sober right now that's struggling, and the ones that unfortunately weren't able to be here with us today. Moment of silence. Thank you.
All right. Well, we had a surprise. We have a surprise next week for you guys. I want you guys to tune into that. We have something really big in the works here, and I can't wait to share it with you. Can't quite share it with you yet, but I think next week we'll be able to do that.
What is it?
Well,
You're gonna have to hit that notification bell. and
you're
like,
gonna
share,
have
and
to like and
subscribe.
subscribe more so Mike can wake up and pee and tell us more and all of that. Anyway, I do want to announce though, right now, up to this point, we've been a YouTube page, right? Like we're a podcast, but now you can go anywhere there are podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Go there, like us, subscribe, whatever
Follow.
they do. I'm a complete moron when it comes to anything that has anything to do with electronics or a phone or anything like that. So, do your thing. Do your thing with that. But we're everywhere now. We're even in Finland,
Shout out Finland.
In the UK.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go.
dude. Let's go. All right. So, I want to get it kicked off today by explaining something to you guys that all 3 of us are not doctors. We're not scientists. We're not therapists. We're none of those things. We're just 3 regular dudes that are the guys off to my right and left here have been foot soldiers in the world of addiction and now they're foot soldiers in the world of sobriety. And I'm in the middle here just trying to navigate those questions that people who don't understand get involved. But I said something on our first podcast where at the end of it, I said, I think we're going to do some good here. And about a week ago, we got a DM from a young lady, and it was probably the most humbling thing that I think all three of us ever read in our lives. And
4 counting JV.
yeah, 4. Sorry, but yeah, it was the moment where I knew that had actually happened, and I think you guys feel the same way. I mean, what I want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, it made me cry.
Me
And
too.
I know if I cried, you cried
I was
too.
crying like a fucking baby, dude.
Yeah. Mama didn't raise no
I almost
punch, now
cried
I'll
right
cry.
now just talking about it again.
Yeah. So something that we're always going to do a little bit different. There's other great podcasts out there, and I'm going to say this every time. When y'all message us, we will read them. And whenever y'all send us something personal like that, we're going to share it with our group, and just to see, the good that we're trying to spread and the other things that other people have went through. Something I forget sometimes is I think my story is so much worse than other people's. And then I hear someone else's story, and it really humbles me. And it makes me realize, like, man, I didn't have it as bad as other people do. I was in a meeting one time, and this guy was telling me, sometimes we think that our story is so bad, but if we was in a group of 100 people and everybody threw all their problems in the middle, and you got to see what everybody really deals with, that you would gladly take your problems back. And, shout out to the person that we're speaking of. I don't know if we're going to say her name.
Yeah, I don't know if that's appropriate or not.
But you humbled me, and I love that you shared with us what you shared, and just keep pushing, keep going through it, keep overcoming. And if you ever need any of us, just DM us, and we will get back with you.
Most definitely. And we always respond to comments too. Usually, sometimes it's all three of us.
All three of us.
We're gonna get. I'm not gonna say that, but you're gonna get all three of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
In a good way.
in a good way. Now, I will say, I'm not gonna lie. I get messages every day from people, but not to that degree or depth.
Yeah.
Not to that, outpouring of what that young lady wrote to us, and this is what we do it for.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think it's also important to realize and note that we all have a story and we all have a voice, and I think it's so important that we all use our voices and use our story, use our testimonies, and share it. Whether you want to share it on a platform that we're going to share to the whole world, whether you just want to keep it in your meeting, if you attend one of those, whether you just want to keep it between your community or just a group of friends, I think it's important to share that, because some people someone always has it worse. Some people probably sit there and wonder, well, I never did any of that. Maybe, maybe and they might feel out of place, like, well, mine wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So I don't feel, I don't know if I can relate to that. And that's okay too, because we all have a story.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to share that, because what my story may not resonate with somebody, yours may not resonate with somebody, but your story may resonate with someone else that we didn't resonate with. And it's so important because, like I said, all of our voices matter. All of our stories matter. And there's no pain is pain, hurt is hurt, loss is loss. I don't think, like I said, I've said this before. I don't think anyone's pain is greater than anyone else's.
But
that's all you know is your pain.
right. Yeah. But I think gain is gain too.
Absolutely.
And you guys are, living proof of that. And like I said, you guys are just regular guys that are being insanely vulnerable up here, talking about your past experiences and the past damages that you've had, and seeing somebody come forward like that with just one story. I mean, we have 1,300 subscribers. That was one person.
Yeah.
And we know that there's a lot more of you out there that have them. And we want you to know that if you're gonna DM us, it is 100% safe place for you to do it.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And we will honor that, and we will definitely pay attention to you and help you any way that we can. That's why we're here doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
she was my daughter's age whenever she was going through that.
no, I mean,
And that's what really stood out to me was like, thank God I was able to get the help and change that around for my daughter, because my daughter could have been sending that message off 20 years from now to somebody else.
yeah,
You know, that's really what made me sit there and just be so grateful. And you know, and about what Jacob was saying, whenever you share your story, it's something that unshackles you.
Yeah.
I think whenever you hold a lot of this stuff in, you know, that we're embarrassed about, or look, I never would have admitted that my daughter came number 2 in front of drugs or behind drugs. But that's something that I have to admit to, because at that time she did. And that's not something I'm proud of, but that's something that hopefully other people can hear that and say, well, shit, I was there too.
Yeah.
And it's okay for him to say it. Why not be okay for me to say it? Yeah. And let me get it out there. That way it's not killing me inside anymore.
yeah. So please keep them coming. I know it's not very easy to send messages like that, but again, we will honor them and keep them as close, and we will respond to you and do anything that we can for you.
And you got people that are really on your side with this podcast. And if no one's told you I'm proud of you, and I believe in you. Believe in you.
Well, that was pretty deep, so I'm going to lighten the load a little bit. I forgot about a fucking sponsor, guys.
Oh, there you go.
This
Moron.
This one comes by the way of Carpet Farming, which was our sponsor of last week.
No kidding.
Yeah, dude, we have melted gummies with carrot sticks.
We've been running through
Mike's got all the fucking sponsors.
We
This ain't
lost.
fair.
I know, dude. You got to find me some
bullshit.
We lost butthole meth.
Yep.
Yeah, we did lose butthole meth.
Yeah.
That
was a good one. That
We
was shitty,
have shadow people in the vents. Mm-hmm. And now we have smoking toenails off of a fucking balloon carpet farming.
Yep.
That's fucking gross, man. Like, I had a week to digest all of that.
Yep.
That's unreal.
Yeah, like you were smoking.
Especially when you don't cut your own toenails. That wasn't my
Yeah,
toenail.
it wasn't your toenail.
Fucking someone else's.
You were smoking somebody else's fucking toenail, man.
Yep.
Like,
And when I
talk about a moment of silence. Like, we should do a moment of silence.
When you hit
for
something
that.
out of your pipe like that, it turns black, and you're just hoping. Maybe
And it
it's
smells like a human being burning.
That's how you know
too,
you done
probably.
fucked up.
And
Gross.
my high ass hit it twice just to make sure. Okay, yeah, it's not the real thing.
Too bad you didn't suck it. It goes through the pipe and ingest it.
And you
My
just
God.
like, oh, let me do that again one more time.
It's like when you smell something bad, you're like, "Fuck, what? Let me smell it
dude.
again."
No.
You know what's crazy? I hear that story and I'm like, oh my God, that's so fucked up. Like, that's sick.
Yeah,
And then I think about, because like, this is how crazy, the drug addict mentality can get. It's like, dude, I would never fucking do anything like that.
Yeah.
But then here I am injecting drugs
Yeah.
in a rundown bathroom where there was toilet paper full of shit overflowing. And I got people pounding on the door and I got gnats flying around. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty sick too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, you guys done some real weird shit.
But shouts out to Mike, man,
Yeah.
for keeping this podcast alive,
With
paying our bills with
sponsorship.
sponsorships, man.
Yeah,
Without
dude, I
you,
love
don't know
it.
if this would be possible either.
I love it. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Mike. Thank you.
Shout out him.
Shout out to Mike O'Brien. All right. So I promised you guys we were going to get into some questions that were left over from last episode. You guys sent in some really good questions. I challenged you. You answered the bell. And I promised that we would get to these 3. So I'm going to get into them. There's one word in here that I can't fucking pronounce. So you're going to have to watch me look like I'm having a fucking stroke up here trying to pronounce this one fucking word. Well, so let's just get into it. All right.
Oh fuck.
If you need help sounding it out, I can walk you through it.
Dude, I'm going to need one like the fucking ball that like, whatever.
How many syllables is it?
1, 2, 3, 4. So addicts with an entrepreneurial spirit.
I don't know.
It was close. You know what the fuck I mean.
what
I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was fucking. I mean, you know what I mean.
Anonymity.
Yeah. So look, it's no secret that you guys were enlightened with a lot of ingenuity in your addiction, right? And then you had to find ways to redirect that probably when you got sober. And I know for you, I mean, you're a hip hop artist.
Yeah,
like it doesn't get more entrepreneurial.
Good.
That was
good.
Then that.
Great job.
Yeah. Then that. Me and Mike, we started buying fucking walls for a podcast and lights and cameras and shit. It doesn't get much more entrepreneurial than that. God, that's 3 times. Jesus, I got to stop saying this. Anyway, let's get into, redirection, I guess. Like redirecting that mentality, instead of going carpet farming with a balloon and sucking things up.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to do that anymore. So,
Well, I think, I know whenever I was in my addiction, I had a lot of good ideas, but aside from carpet farming.
no, it was a great idea. I mean, it just was used for
But I had a
evil.
lot of good ideas and a lot of things that I wanted to do, but I was still an addict, so I could not do them,
Right.
right? Because that took up all of my time. Like, I had great ideas, but getting high was my number one idea. And that's really, once I got there, I didn't care about nothing else. Whenever I got sober, that's when I had a lot of free time on my hands.
Yeah.
And the time that I wasn't worried, the times that I was with my daughter, I wasn't worried about. It was the times when I was going to be alone that I was worried. So those are times where I started having to go to meetings, sometimes 1 or 2 or 3 a day. And then I started like figuring out different hobbies. And then this was the main thing that I've always wanted to do, even during my addiction, when I got out of my addiction. And I had to find the right people to do it. There was a lot of people that were willing to do it. I would go to different meetings and hear people talk, and people that had good shares. That might be someone that I might be interested in getting in here with me. And that's where I met Jay Klein, and I heard him share, and I was like, and my girlfriend, I said this before, my girlfriend had told me, man, this guy was at the meeting. He had a great share. You should talk to him about a podcast. And I went to a meeting and I heard him share, and I was like, fuck, that dude, that is a great share. He would be great. And then we became friends, and then I went to one of your rap shows, one of your, was it a charity event? Most of yours are charity events.
It was my charity event that I did, yeah.
And to watch the energy that you had, it made me want to go to a different level with this, because I seen the passion and the way that you got on stage and the presence that you had and the songs that you wrote and all of that. So I would say, like, this was my main goal here. He's been doing it through addiction and out of addiction, right? You've always been doing all of that.
Yeah.
But I think, probably, and you can speak to this more, being sober, you're able to really put all of you into it now, rather than just a little bit here and a little bit there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was my main goal. This is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And we put it up. I talked to you. You was like, I knew I wanted to use you from the get go.
Well, yeah, we met, and it was just kind of like done deal. Like,
Yeah.
But at that time, you were really deep into your addiction when we met. It was well before that, and you were like, "Man, we need to do a podcast." And I was like, "About what?" You're like, "I don't know. We just fucking sit there and talk, man."
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
what it was going to be.
Yeah,
we were just going to
gonna
tell
be-
dick jokes.
Yeah, and we've got those.
That's what we were going to do.
Endless.
Just tell dick jokes.
I have so many
Because,
dick,
like,
dick
at
and fart
work,
jokes, man.
We
all
tell
day.
jokes that nobody else will get involved in
Yeah.
because they're way fucking out of left field.
Yeah, so
And
bad.
that's where I knew I wanted to use him. I wanted to get him on here. And then, but I would say Jay Klein actually inspired me whenever I got to see the work that he put in, in something that he really cared about. And I was like, fuck, I want to get to that level too. So,
Yeah.
This is a great question and also a loaded topic for me. So I've been doing music. I started doing it professionally. I've been doing music my whole life, but did it professionally in like 2018. That was when I kind of got sober. And when I say kind of, I got on the methadone program. Not knocking that, but I was also smoking weed still and drinking here and there. And so I started managing my life to a degree until I couldn't. Yeah. And I started building my career up again and chasing my dream, and things were going well. I was opening up for decent name artists. I started working on an album. I signed a distribution deal with a subsidiary
Yay.
Let's go.
Hey.
of Sony Music, and they released my debut album, Lost in Austin, which is out on all platforms.
Shout out.
But in the process of that, 2020 happened, and we all know what happened in 2020.
What happened?
Yeah. I had just opened up for the biggest artist of my career at the time in December. I had a great job. Everything on paper was going well. And then 2020 happened. I lost the job, which means I lost the funding to fund my career because it's self-funded for now. And the world was in chaos, and I don't do well with chaos and fear, especially when I'm using and there's no program to back that or combat that. And I'm like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. I lost my job. There's no more shows going on now. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's fuck the methadone. Let's get back into that fucking world because I'm scared and I don't know what's going to happen. Well, that's what I did. I went back full-time user again and did that. My debut album came out April 2021. I was in rehab when it dropped.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And the only thing I was worried about that whole rehab stay was my album's coming out and I have all this merchandise that I got to give to all my my fans and supporters. And I left there in 10 days. And I left there, and what did I do? I didn't send out the merch. Well, I may have sent out a couple packs. But I went back and I used again immediately. And I did that until November 3rd, 2022. That's my clean date. And so I've spoke about this many times, how imperative it is for me, and I think for anybody, to have a vision of what you want out of life. Day one, 11/03/2022, I had a set list of goals and objectives that I wanted to do. And I worked at them, and they've all come to fruition. However, I can't stress this, and the importance of this is patience. In the beginning, I had to combat in my head, like, I'm ready to get back out there. I'm ready to get back out there. I got to get it. I got to make up for this lost time. I got all these fans that I got to come back and show them that I'm a chill.
Yeah.
Chill. Build your foundation up. Get sober and get some recovery in you first. Because let me tell you something. Ain't none of those dreams or any of those goals going to happen unless you actually work on yourself. And I did month by month. I would work my program. I'd go out and do little sober sessions from the treatment center I went to, and I would just tackle it bit by bit and just build myself up brick by brick, and just patience. Hey, we don't need to come out right away. Take your time. You know, fear of missing out is a big thing, and thinking I got to make up for lost time is a big thing. When just be patient and just do this shit right this time. I'm someone that maybe some people can do this. I can't. I am not a 1 foot in and 1 foot out type of person. I'm all the way in anything that I do. So when I would try to do
That's why we can't use ever.
right.
Yeah.
So when I would try to make music in my active addiction, did I do it sometimes? Sure. But it wasn't always my best work. Or if I went to the studio, no one was like, why is this guy nodding out over there? Like, no one wants to be around that. Even if they are smoking weed and drinking or doing whatever they're doing, no one wants to be around someone that's nodding out. Can't show up to shows and go on stage unless I hit 3 shots of tequila off the rip. Like, so I built myself up. Now I'm almost 18 months sober, 17 months sober currently. And it's through my story and it's through this program that I work, recovery, that I found my purpose. And what is purpose for me? For me, purpose is being of service.
Yeah.
And so what do? My passion, music and helping others. I've always wanted to I want to leave a legacy. I want to make a difference in people's lives. That's always been the goal, even when I was in active addiction. I just went about it the wrong way. So sober, get some clean time under your belt, get some patience, build yourself up, heal, grow, get the spiritual experience. Then you start coming out. And then you combine that passion with that purpose. And that's what I've done.
Yeah.
That's why I do, I do recovery fundraiser events that I put my own money into it.
Yeah.
No sponsors, no outside help, because I'm serious about trying to help and change lives. Because you're talking about someone that never knew this life could be possible. Actually, that's not true. I knew this could be possible. I didn't want it to be possible. And I also never gave myself a chance to get away from the drugs and alcohol to see how different life could be sober and how successful you truly can be. And I just dropped my new music video, my new single, my first major release in 2 years. In 5 days, it's done 5,000 views. Is that a lot? I don't know, but I'm proud of it. I'm happy of it. It's a start. It's a building. It's a process, and you got to define. Another thing I think is really important is you got to define your own success, and you got to remember what it is that you're doing this for. Would I love to sign a major record deal? Sure. But I am not ever going to ever compromise what I'm trying to do with my music. I'm not ever going to forget about the people that I'm doing this for. I will never sacrifice that. I would rather be a local recovery hip hop artist. If you put whatever title you want on me, you can put me in a box if you want. Whatever. I make music for the people. I make music to inspire, motivate, and change the world. And that's what I do. And I carry music is one of the avenues that I help carry this message and my experience, strength, and hope. This podcast, we help carry experience, strength, and hope in our story and our testimony. Because there's a lot of fucked up shit we've shared. We've gotten really vulnerable on this thing. Things that I didn't want to share to thousands of people. There's things that I'm going to continue to share that I don't want to share to a lot of people. But I'm going to.
We made a commitment.
I made a commitment, damn it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that comes from sobriety. You can make commitments and you can follow through on them.
Yeah.
And the way I live today matches the way I talk, the way I act. It matches, and I get messages every day about how I inspire them.
I seen something on TV the other day. This movie we were watching, it said "Say yes" and then figure out how to do it afterwards.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a quick question.
It's not your job.
I know, but that's why I'm asking you. When you were doing your music during addiction and then falling, coming back, falling, coming back, falling, was it hard to go back to people that maybe were behind you and were helping you, and then like maybe that you let down with your addiction, and then did they get back behind you and support you? Was that just like a quick? I'm curious because I know you've been doing it for a long time, and then you would have a stumble, and is that an okay question to ask you?
Absolutely, for sure.
Okay.
You can ask me anything. So honestly, it was more of I felt that more to myself. Like, why can't I do this?
Yeah.
Why can't I get high and make music? I thought that's what you were supposed to do. You're supposed to be a rock star. You're supposed to get, a lot of the artists that I idolized and looked up to, they did drugs and, Lil Wayne and the Lil Peeps and the Juice WRLDs. I wanted to do that. I want to pop perks and I want to make music.
Yeah.
Well, you see how it worked out for them, right?
Yeah.
Plus, I'm also not, it's not possible.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to put myself on a pedestal to reach this thing that is not okay. So if they can do that, maybe some.
Most
artists that were that, you see what happened. They either end up dead or they end up sober.
Yeah.
And honestly, in a sick way, I used to think like, you know what? I wouldn't mind dying actually if I was, a rap star.
Yeah.
Then I could be a legend.
Maybe I have a legacy.
How
then.
crazy is that? Like, motherfucker, you haven't did anything to even be worthy of a legend.
You might get a shirt in Hot Topic.
And even then, how sick and sad of a way to look at that is. One of my favorite artists is Mac Miller.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Mac Miller.
Man,
Yeah.
he is fucking phenomenal too.
Yeah, man.
Like, we don't get to. That's it. There's no more music.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like that. You can be a living legend. If you want to be a legend, whatever, be a legend. I don't strive for, I don't want anything grandiose anymore. What makes me happy is seeing people win, seeing people be successful, seeing people happy. And sure, would I like to get rich? Sure. But I want to get rich so I can give back. I want to be like fucking Warren Buffett or Mr. Beast, and I want to make if I can make that much money, I'm going to give away 95% of it.
Don't do that, man.
No, I really want to. That's my ultimate goal.
Just,
My ultimate goal is I really want to. I want to open up a treatment center that's completely free. Everything is free. Like, that's my ultimate. That's one of my ultimate goals. I want to.
Another entrepreneur.
well, hold on. Entrepreneur.
All right. I want to add this tidbit in real quick though, too. You also got to be careful to just let things happen organically. Again, I've spoken about trust the process, don't rush the process. I embody that, and I live that in anything and everything that I do. You talk about you met a couple people that you thought, hey, that'd be great. Thing you have to be cautious about doing this is, especially with others in recovery, is, well, one, what happens if you relapse?
The obvious, yeah.
So
we actually talked about that.
you can't trust everybody anyway. And we've been so blessed and lucky to come together as a group, all four of us, like four good, good people at heart.
I mean, you guys are doing,
you.
I mean,
you're happy.
Yeah.
But no, we all have big hearts, and but you gotta be careful who you attach your name to and what who you associate with, because not everyone's gonna share the same vision and goals as you, which is okay. But like, I think the whole world notices, hey, we have a great chemistry, and I think we all communicate well, and I think we're all on the same page.
Find what you want to do. Put yourself around the right people and go get it.
And I want to share one last thing on this. You don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be an actor. You got to find your passion. Maybe you're a chef. Maybe you're a carpenter. Maybe you're a podcast host.
Maybe you're a moron.
Maybe you're a moron. Maybe you just want to be a great dad or a great mom or a great parent. Or maybe you can do anything you want to do sober and in recovery.
For sure.
Don't put any limits on yourself. Don't let people put you in a box. But also, I think it's important to remember what it is you do this for, and always keep it morally driven, and make sure your intentions are pure and real.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anybody that's testament to that, it's you two. I mean, I really believe that. And the fact that you guys get up here week after week, completely making yourselves vulnerable to a lot of people is, it's already proven that it's doing a lot of people really good. So,
like I said, when I got sober, I made a commitment that I'm going to commit my life to service and helping others. I'm not saying everyone can't do that, but understand I sacrifice a lot, and I'm okay with that. I hate to bring this up. I speak about relationships a lot. I can't even have a relationship right now.
Yeah.
Even if I wanted to. And I've tried. I want a relationship.
Yeah.
And I can't because I ain't got time.
Yeah. Trust me.
I've left dates to go help do a 12-step call. I've left dates to go pick up my chip.
Yeah.
Because that's what's important to me. I get 4 hours of sleep a night. I'm a hip hop artist, a podcast co-host. I manage a sober living. I sponsor 5 guys.
Yeah. No room for a lady.
I heard
it's not all it's cracked up to be, man. I'm telling you.
I heard Denzel Washington was doing he said a quote. He did a quote the other day. It said that you can't take it with you, but you can leave it here.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that. He wasn't talking about sobriety. He was just talking about life in general.
Yeah.
And I think that what I got from it was like what we're doing here. You can't take things with you, but you can fucking pass it on to the next person, and then the next person, and the next person, and the fucking next person.
Yeah.
And not that we know all the answers, because we fucking don't. But we have some good ideas that have worked for us, and we have, good people that we have around us that can help us with a lot of questions that we don't know the answers to. And then, God is, who I always talk to, especially more lately now than ever. And I realized this weekend that I need to even get closer to him, because I'm not as close to him as I want to be. I've got some friends in town, And they've inspired me to be even better than I am, because they've humbled me with how much they know, and how much I want to be more into the right place with God,
Yeah.
Shout out Christy and Ben.
Shout out. Shout out. All right. So moving on, and thank you again, John M. Thank you.
Shout out to him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great question there, or great way to get these guys to talk, and for me to say a word that makes me sound like I'm having a fucking stroke. All right. Second one comes from Shell T. I can say every word in this sentence without sounding like I'm having a stroke. What is the motive to being a better person to yourself and others? And I know there wasn't a whole lot of that in addiction, right? There was no motive to yourself or to be better to yourself or to others in that. But now that you guys are out of that, that's a pretty loaded fucking question.
You know what's crazy is when I was in addiction, I thought I was good to other people, like, because I give homeless people money. I'm fucking like I'm doing God's work, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would give you a $20 bill. Here you go. You see me? See what I just did?
Yeah.
Like that was my motive for things like that. I would go and look. I used to buy lottery tickets like crazy, and I would win money, and then I would go back in and I would give them to the cashier, right? Doing God's work. Like that. Now you can protect me, keep me from getting arrested, and keep me from all. Like, these were my motives. There was always self-driven, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize they were self-driven. I just thought I was being a good person, right? If anybody ever asked me to borrow money, if I had it, I'll give it to you, right? And now, being sober, I realize, like, I have to check myself to make sure that I'm still not self-driven on a lot of my motives that I do. That's something I'm still learning. I have to make sure that I'm doing it for the right reasons, and I'm willing to help pretty much anybody that's willing to help themselves. I am a people pleaser, though, and sometimes that can burn me. So I'm having to learn when is okay to do this and that. My biggest motive is my daughter. I mean, y'all know that. My biggest motive is my daughter. Before I went to rehab, I used to watch. We all watch these YouTube videos where a dad's walking his daughter down the aisle, or she's graduating, and I used to wonder, like, am I going to be able to see that?
Yeah.
Is this addiction going to get me before I can see my daughter graduate? Or am I going to be, is somebody else going to have to give her away because I'm not here, right? And those are things that, man, I've never really talked about that before. Those are things that used to cross my mind, especially when fentanyl started coming in the picture. Because then I started realizing, like, I never thought I could die from meth. Like, I might just get really, really high, but I don't think I'll die from it, until fentanyl started getting mixed in with it. And then I started really wondering, like, someone might have to give my daughter away at her wedding because I might not be there. So that was the biggest motivation for me whenever I went to rehab. I didn't go for myself. I went for my daughter. Now, eventually in my recovery, my motivation has been for me too, because I have to be good with me before I'm good for anybody else. I've got to be the best version of me before I can be the best version for you. And that's been always my motivation. I showed y'all before, I wear her socks every day. Is that Lilo or Stitch? That's Stitch, right? I got her Stitch socks on today. And I do that because I've said it before, I'll always say it. I bring her with me everywhere that I go to remind myself that she's with me, even if I have the slightest bit of wanting to use, which I don't ever have those urges, but if I did, the dad that I am now would never use with my daughter with me. The dad that I was in addiction would use right in front of her. Go in the other room while I go to the bathroom. Dad's taking a shit for another 6 hours, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Locking himself in the bathroom, which You know, and what's crazy is like she'll ask me now, Dad, was you really poo-pooing for 6 hours?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's not funny.
No, baby. I wasn't poo-pooing for 6 hours. I was in there doing drugs and well, I don't tell her I was watching porn, but that's the other thing I was probably doing. But
That's a whole
so,
topic right there.
yeah, but my motivation is my daughter, and then my motivation is me, and my motivation is just everybody that stuck around me, that was there for me. You know, a lot of people walked away, and that's okay. They should have. A lot of people should have. But the one, you know, some people say my motivation is to prove people wrong. I don't do that. My motivation is to prove the ones right that stuck with me the whole time.
Yeah, and again, I met you pretty deep into your addiction, and I've told you this before, but I was naive to it. I had no idea. I guess you could say that I was judging the man and not any of the actions. I didn't have any of the actions to know about at that point. But what I knew immediately about you was that you did have a really good heart and that you were a good dude.
Yeah.
And you told dick and fart jokes like nobody's fucking business, and we could bounce them off of each other like crazy. So I think I think that's important to know too. Is that you were a big person that taught me this. You were the person that taught me this. Is there are a lot of really fucking good people out there that are addicted to stuff and they're lost to it. And I think as a normie or somebody who doesn't understand it, judge the person and help them. Like we all came around you and helped you out in that situation. But, judge the person and not the action and not their disease. You wouldn't judge somebody that had cancer, and I'm not trying to compare apples to oranges or anything, but if somebody has a disease and addiction is a disease, judge the heart and try and support them. So
I like that. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Something that people that aren't in this and don't understand it, I never understood that it was a disease. And I'm glad that you said that because it is a disease. Like my mom, I was talking to my mom the other day and she said, yeah, these crackheads. And I stopped her and I said, Mom, please don't say that in front of me.
Yeah.
I said, that offends me because I used to be that person.
Right.
And there's a lot of really good people out there. And those people that you see that you call crackheads or meth heads, that's somebody's father, that's somebody's son, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's mom. There's people out there that care about those people, and they're just sick. They're just sick, and they need help. And hopefully there's people out there that will reach out to them and help them. Hopefully some of what we do on here can reach out to them and help them.
And those people on the other side are struggling too, man. They're right there in that fight with them.
Their families are fighting with them.
It's a family thing. I mean, when it really is, and thank God I've never had it. You were as close of a person that I ever had in the disease, but I knew I loved you immediately, and then felt like I had to get in the fight with you. But
I love you.
Love you too, brother.
Thank you for that.
But yeah, I mean, Jay, what are some of your motives to just be a better
As y'all
person?
can see the shirt I'm wearing. It's one of my merchandise shirts. This is not a plug, by the way.
It is a plug. It is kind
I guess
of a
it
plug.
is.
Yeah.
This one isn't shameless. This is
No, not at all.
This is what I live by. On the front it says, obviously my name, redemption, and on the back it says your story isn't finished. And what does that mean? Well, it's redemption in all ways. From addiction, from recovery, from the obstacles you've overcame, that you went through, the trials and tribulations, using that messed up, horrible, chaotic, miserable story that I lived in for so long, that you may live in currently or have gone through as well, that you can overcome that and you can rewrite your comeback story. Your story isn't finished. I live by that, and this shirt isn't for me. This is for us. Because for me, I was a piece of shit. We're not going to sugarcoat it. I was a piece of shit. I remember first grade, I used to get in trouble a lot because I would act out, and my mom would come up there because the principal would call her, and she would come pick me up, and she would, on the way home, she'd be like, why are you acting like this? Don't you know you're a reflection of me? I said, I don't, what? No, this is me. I'm not, I'm sorry. You did a great job, Mom, but no, this is on me. So down the road, I get on drugs. I was raised right. I was raised with morals and respect and dignity. I know how to act. But when I get in that world and that life, all that is out the window. And, you know, I've shared about it. I've taken everything you can imagine from the ones closest to me. Robbed my own mom, dude. The woman that fucking birthed me. And she still loves me to this day. Not everyone's going to be so forgiving. I understand that. There's things it's hard for me to, like, I can't excuse any of the behaviors and things I've done, because I've did some. I can't even give you the stories. I mean, I've did everything you could imagine to get drugs. I've harmed whoever was in my way. I lied to whoever was in my way. Even when the truth was obvious, I still lied about it. You know, I will share one story. And I'm not proud of this at all, but it was late at night, and I robbed an innocent person, and I'll never forget the words I said, and this is why I'm sharing this. I said, "Sir, I'm sorry. I don't want to do this, but you don't understand. I have to. I have to, because I needed it that bad. And every day this would make me even sicker and make me want to use more, because inside I know how to act. But see, the condition that I was living, I was a walking contradiction. And it tore me up. I'm like, no, I am a good person. No, you're not. You're a piece of shit, dude.
Well,
No, I was a piece of shit. We're not going to sugarcoat it. Yes, I was sick, but I was a piece of shit, dude. Even other heroin addicts didn't want me around. Like,
yeah.
Jay Klein's coming over. No, fuck, he's not.
No.
I fuck with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I thought it was still
He's
our
going to
shit.
steal my Xbox and then try and help me find it. That's
done.
the, yeah, I know. That's what you said. You said
Yes.
you said that
I'm
before.
not proud of these things, but I hate that I even have to share these things. I would have never done any of that if I wasn't on drugs.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
So I share these things today to show you that how the full scope of this, it's deeper than just getting sober off drugs and alcohol, that and what comes with it, that you can actually change your life around. And all the bridges I've burned, most of the people I've hurt, the people that were pushed out, most of them all have came back because of the man I am today. I live how I'm supposed to. And someone asked me the other day, they go, they're like, what are your flaws? And, so I told them, blah, blah, and they're like, well, that doesn't seem really, they kind of like combated it. And I'm like, listen, this is what I can tell you. I can tell you what I won't do today. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to cheat on you. I'm not going to hurt you. And I'm not going to harm you. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I strive to be. But I can guarantee you, I don't have to lie to nobody today. About what? I don't have to harm nobody today. For what? Like, I don't have to live like that.
Yeah.
And I sometimes I hold myself too much to a higher standard that's like, but I think it's okay. I'm going to hold myself to that standard because I didn't come this far to stay the same.
Yeah.
I really wanted to make a change. And I'm going to live how I was raised. I'm going to live how I was intended to be. And that's a man that lives with dignity, respect, honor, commitment, trust. Like, I was in a meeting yesterday. Someone dropped their wallet. Hey, you dropped your wallet.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you dropped your wallet, dude. That was a year and 19 months ago.
Yeah.
Man, I hope he doesn't notice he dropped his wallet.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say then, just hearing you guys, that probably the motivations today were probably so much of the damage that you did in the past, right? Is that
Yeah, but I want to be clear. It's not to what I do today is not to make up for that.
right? Right. No.
Yeah.
I get that, but it definitely is a reminder of where you are. Creates the person that you are.
And let me just say, it's so much easier to be a good person, dude.
It is. It's easier not to lie. Then I don't have to remember what the fuck I told you. I don't have to go back and, well, maybe I said this or that or fucking. Now I can look people in the eyes. My daughter's mom, when she used to ask me questions, I would shy away from her because I had such bags under my eyes that she would know that I'm high. So I would never look her in the eyes. I would always talk to her from the side. And now when I talk to her, I can actually give her all my attention because I'm not worried. I don't worry if I have to go pick my daughter up that she's going to drug test me. Drug test me. No problem. Right? Something I'll share real quick is, since you shared something, my biggest motivation, my daughter, when I was in my addiction, I remember she came out of her room one time. I don't think I've ever shared this. I've never done it here. She came out of her room one time and she was like, Dad, my Xbox is gone. She was like 5. And I just pawned her Xbox the day before to go get drugs. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, I'm trying to play this shit off. Like, are you sure? You must have moved it somewhere. Let me go help you look for it. And then the next day, her Nintendo Switch came up missing. Man, someone must have robbed us. Someone must have stole it.
Damn.
That was me. My motivation, my number one thing in the world. I was fucking stealing her shit, her piggy bank, emptying it out to go get dope. And then helping her look for the shit after she noticed it's missing, a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So
Fuck, man.
Also, everyone's not going to forgive you. Make those amends to the ones you've harmed, if possible, wherever. Everyone's not going to forgive you, and they don't have to. But I think it's also important that you forgive yourself, and then live accordingly.
Yeah.
Live in principle.
yeah,
I live in principle today.
make sure you don't have to go back and say I'm sorry more than once. I'm sorry. I did it again. I did it again.
Well,
What's the other one?
thank you, Shell.
JV's giving us like the 10-minute list.
Did we get the? Okay,
we're
we're
down
gonna
to
get
5.
this one in. All right. So last one from Kelsey S.
I don't know why you looked at me like that.
I don't know why you look like you like that either.
Female name. You just looked at me.
Yeah.
One of the other ones? No, it's not. This is. No.
All right. So from Kelsey S. Trying to live a regular life sober. And I think, I mean, there's a lot to do with regular life, right? Whether you're in addiction or out of it. But there's a lot of places that you go to for fun and laughs or whatever, and those temptations are there, you know. So how do you guys navigate those waters of like trying to go to? I know it might be a little easier for you. I don't think you were ever like a big drinker or anything like that, but I don't see meth just being busted out in the middle of a day.
Yeah, most people just don't smoke meth out.
Yeah, out in the
I told
open.
my buddy one time, I said, I said, you know, I can be around people that are drinking. I said, I can't be around people that are smoking meth. And he's like, well, Stu, normal people don't go hang out with people that are just smoking meth.
They're hanging out in their bathroom.
They're
fucking in their
and
bathroom.
I was like, that's a good point. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never alcohol. Like I identify as a drug addict.
Yeah.
You know, do I drink alcohol? I won't. Could I handle it? I don't know. I'm sure my drug addict mentality will tell me, oh yeah, you could drink. It's not gonna. And maybe I could here and there until
Probably best you don't.
it's best that I don't. My sobriety means more to me than fucking putting a little alcohol in my body just to prove to myself that I can drink alcohol. I went on, for my brother's 50th birthday, we went on a cruise to the Bahamas, and me and Destiny were probably the only two on the boat that weren't drinking.
Yeah.
Right? And we had fucking a phenomenal time. I mean, we had a great time. We've been to houseboat parties where we're the only two that aren't drinking or smoking or doing things, and had the most fun out of probably anybody on the boat. We went to Disney, even though I don't know if a lot of people go and get high at Disney with their kids, but
I'm sure they do, dude. At the end of those fucking days, they're like, They're Jesus Christ.
Go to the fucking room.
Yeah, I gotta load up. That was a long fucking day.
You ungrateful motherfucker.
Yeah, take these fucking Mickey Mouse ears and get them off of my goddamn head. Daddy needs a goddamn drink.
Yeah, so those are they.
Sorry,
We
that's why I'm
we
here,
went
guys.
to all those places, and we go to hockey games. I mean, I'm very comfortable in my sobriety.
Yeah,
I think that you have to get to the point. Look, I've gotten to the point. I said this before in 2018 when I got sober for the first time. I thought that I could go use again and be normal.
yeah,
And that using that night kept me out for 4 more years.
Yeah.
I did an 8-ball every day from that day going forward until 2022, until January 1st, 2022. So I know that I can never put anything in my body again. That's a hard reality for a lot of people to realize. Like, especially at a younger age, I'm 44. If you're 22 or 21 or 26, it's like, shit, I can never party again.
yeah,
Well, I look at it like this. I partied my ass off for 10 years.
yeah,
I went as hard as I possibly could. Me getting up and pissing every 2 hours is probably a testament to that.
yeah,
And I know that I'm okay with not ever doing anything again because I partied so fucking hard for those 10 years. Now I just want to just be normal. I just want to be a normal person, just be a good person, and just spread this word and pay it forward.
Well, you are a good person, but you're far from fucking normal.
Yeah,
So
it's,
I'll go ahead and just tell you that
and,
right now.
And I'll say, like, the people you surround yourself with, I think is one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hang out with people that I used to smoke meth with. I still love them, a lot of them. I love them from a distance. But I'm not going to go and chill and hang out there at their house with them. I'm not going to go pick them up and try to bring them to AA meetings or anything like that because, unless they're ready, right? But I surround myself with people that I met from the rooms. I surround myself with other good people. I'm going to start surrounding myself with people from my church. And, I feel like my homegirl said something where, something to the effect of, by myself, it can be scary, but as a group, we can do anything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's how I kind of feel.
Yeah. So, drugs and alcohol are everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everything was a trigger. Waking up was a trigger. I didn't always need a reason to use. I mean, I would find one if need be, but
Yeah.
like I didn't
Create them.
Yeah. But every day was a good day to use back then. Like you said, I take pride in my recovery. I appreciate the gift of sobriety, the gift of recovery, the gift of living and walking in faith and what comes with that. And I'll be damned if I let it go. And I don't have to let it go. And I don't have to self-sabotage anything anymore. I've taken all the chances. I've tried all the formulas to make it work. I concede. I give up. I can't use. And I'm okay with that. Because I love waking up today. I love waking up sober. I love waking up and I get to be a leader today. I get to be present today. I get to be aware today. I get to have people message us about how we inspire them. I get to be a voice today. All the things I get to be. I can be anything. I can do anything. I put a drug in my body. I'm only gonna be able to do one thing, and that's fuck my life up. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being sober. I love it, and I don't fear the disease of addiction. I respect it. I know what it can do. And I know what comes with it. So we're there. I'm cognizant. I'm aware. I don't ever get too cocky. But I let go. Like I can go to concerts and be sober. I'm not saying I do this all the time, but I can go to a nightclub with other addicts and we're in there and we're having the most fun of anybody. Everyone's on the wall like, I don't know what to do. And we're in there, boom, boom, boom. Sober. Like, would I do that every weekend? No, because honestly, it isn't that fun. But like, because honestly, I'm more aware. I'm like, dude, these people are fucked up. Like, all y'all doing is trying to chase women and get into debauchery. And
Yeah.
it's cool every now and then. I also want to stress, know where you're at in your recovery.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
That's a big
You
one.
don't have to go to a club. You don't have. It's okay if you don't. But I think, there's levels to it to some degree. Some people may never want to be around even the slightest bit of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay too. But I would say live life. And one of the greatest gifts of sobriety is I can live life today. And I don't need to put a drink or a drug in my body to do so. I was so wrong my whole life thinking that I needed this to be better. I needed this to be more attractive. I needed this to have fun. I needed
more
this
social.
to be more social, more confident, a better lover. How wrong was I? Because I was the worst lover, the worst fucking person, the worst this, the worst that. Never made me better. It was a fucking delusion.
Yeah.
And once I got out of that, people say take it one day at a time. That's true. And I can say with confidence, April 3rd, 2024, I will have my 18th month chip. Not cocky about it. And it's one day at a time still.
April 3rd?
Wow.
Yeah, well, that April 3rd was like a fucking week ago, dude.
Like I said, I'm on 4 hours of sleep a night. May 3rd.
Yeah.
Excuse me. May 3rd. I will have 18 months. And I love this way of life. Who would have thought I would love being sober? And I used to think, fuck, I want to be sober for. That's really, it's the most fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get to try new things. I get to do different things. I love it. And I don't ever have to use again, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's good shit. Well, I am getting the fucking stank eye from JV right now.
Yep.
We've gone overboard.
No, let's go live
Yeah,
I'm having fun.
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. So,
Something I'll
episode
never do.
6 in the can. Folks, thank you so much
you
for
guys
liking,
so much.
subscribing, but keep fucking doing it. Spread the word to everybody. We really appreciate all the support. We really appreciate all of the DMs that you're giving us. The love, the words out in public. Please keep them coming, and we'll see you next week.
If you need help, reach out.
Reach out to anyone.
You can DM any one of us. You even got social media now.
I do. I have a little bit. I have a little bit of
At
social
Joey the
media.
Moron.
Yeah, at Joey the Moron. It's
Reach
like
out to us.
4
If you
days
wanna hear
old.
a
There's like
joke or-
3 things on it. Yeah. I'll
Maybe you want a knock joke or something.
yeah, or I can send you some of the inappropriate ones that JV keeps editing out of these fucking podcasts.
Yeah.
How about that?
Those are good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Once we get big, we need to put all those together.
We will. We'll
and
just
fucking it's going to be
That'll
like
be the
hopefully
uncut version.
uncut
we'll get to a
version.
point to where we can't get canceled because that's the reason we edit the motherfuckers now.
No, I think we can get canceled. Some of them are pretty fucking terrible. But from the 2 addicts and a moron, we'll see you later.
Out.
Love you guys.
Love y'all.
Y'all.